Hey there, beautiful peeps. Happy Tuesday evening. Stace from the Healthy Happy Soul here, and I am so excited, so excited to be jumping online and just sharing my first live video, my first video for a little while. I've been working behind the scenes, just setting up and getting ready to share a whole heap of goodness with you. So I'm really excited to be back, really pumped, and I am fired up because I have got something so exciting to share with you tonight, because it's something that, yeah, it's been on my mind. It's been something that I've been walking in and journeying in, and I thought if I'm journeying through this, I bet there are some other people as well who are really just battling a little bit. Maybe this is something that they're coming up against. So I thought, why don't I just get in here? I'm going to share it. Hopefully some stuff that I do that you can apply is going to work for you too. So I hope it's going to be really beneficial for you. Just going to wait for another couple of minutes while some peeps jump online. So I hope you've been having the most amazing day, whatever you've been doing, whatever you've been up to. It's been beautiful here, absolutely gorgeous, Sunshine Coast, totally living up to its name. I am incredibly blessed. It's been gorgeous. Hey Liv, how you doing? So when you're online, just say hey so I know who I'm sharing with, who I'm talking to, because I am such a people person, and I'm incredibly grateful that we have this whole social media thing where we can connect online. I would love to do it face to face, but obviously this means I can just share and connect with so many more people, which is awesome. So just let me know when you're on so I can say hey and who I'm talking to. Hey Tony, awesome to have you here, you legend. So good, so good. So team, get in the comments box, and I'm calling you my team because I've been fitness instructing this morning, so I call them team. Sorry, tribe, group, peeps. I'll get the language right, I'll get the lingo right. You know I'm not super good at the end of the day, right? I'm not. I'm much better in the morning, I'm much fresher, but I know that if I probably put a Facebook Live on at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, peeps just wouldn't be online. You'd all be sleeping probably. So yeah, I'm really excited to share. Let's get into it. Let's get started, because I'm sure you guys have got, stuff to do, things to, go out and smash out. So I'm really pumped to share. I've got some things that I want to just nail, so let's go. So the topic for tonight, and just bear in mind guys that I'm going to be doing this weekly for the next 4 or 5 weeks, just to see how it goes, if it's of any benefit, what you guys get out of it. So it's all going to be driven by you. So this is interactive. I want to get your feedback, your comments, your questions, your things that we can talk about. So make sure you get in there. But tonight, for number 1, I'm going to talk about what to do when you're in a funk. And when I'm talking about funk, I'm not talking about the good kind. I'm not talking about the feeling funky. I'm talking about like in a funk where it's like you got maybe like some really stinky moldy cheese under your sort of nose, and you just are like, everything stinks. I'm in this funk. I don't like it. And you can't quite put your finger on it. That's the thing. Because it's all well and good when you know what's wrong, because you have 2 options then. You can either address it, or you can be in denial and just sort of pretend like it's not happening. But when you're in this funk, sometimes you don't even know what it is. You can't put your finger on it. You're just feeling, you're not feeling so good. You don't feel like you're your best. And it's just something that you can't really identify. It's just funky. You just sort of don't know what's going on. And so this funk, I was really raw and shared a few weeks ago about the funk that I'd sort of been walking in, living in for the last couple of months. And, really it was like nothing was wrong. Everything in fact was right. Stuff that's been happening in my world has been amazing. I'm so blessed. Just the things that is happening in my personal life, with my family, some other things with business, with relationships, with church, with God, like it's all awesome. But I just still wasn't feeling it. I just sort of didn't have that spark, that get up and go. And it was like I was dragging my feet through wet cement. Which if you know me, that's not sort of how I roll. And it was hard. I was like, it just felt like heavy, and everything was a bit of an effort. I don't know if any of you guys ever feel like that. I have to say that's not sort of like that's the only time I've ever felt like this. Like this sort of happens. I think that's just, normal with life. Sometimes everything's going great, but we're still feeling in a bit of a funk, and we just, like I said, can't put our finger on it. And so I wasn't motivated to move my body. I wasn't motivated to eat well. I wasn't motivated to even go for a beach walk. I wasn't motivated to hang out with people. It was just really hard, really challenging. Like I said, it was just in this funk. Anything that I normally would give me joy was not giving me joy. And I just was really like feeling like things were a bit tough. Just going through the motions, right? Like you just have lost that passion, that spark, that purpose, that joy. I don't know if you guys ever feel like that. I see comments, hearing ya. Yeah, okay, so I'm not alone then. That's comforting, right? That we're not alone. And that's always good, right? To know that we aren't, we aren't different. Like this is normal. And, when we feel like we're the only ones going through this, it can be really isolating. So that's why I thought, no, I need to talk about this, because when I shared my other video, there was a heap of response. So I thought, right, like let's actually teach about how do we not just roll through this funk, but some actual practical strategies to change things up. So I'm going to give you tonight just four tips, really simple, but incredibly powerful to really pick yourself up out of that funk. And I'm going to title it how to fly kick your funk to the curb. So only 4 steps, really easy. And it might be something that maybe you take one of these things and it works for you. Maybe you're going to do all 4, whatever's going on, it's all good, right? So I want to give you 4 simple tips that you can action that are going to, I guarantee, make a really big difference. So the first one, and this is probably my favorite, and it's one of the most easy things you can do as well. And that is, when you're in a funk, one of the most powerful things you can do is to dress funky. Dress funky, right? So like, I'm not in a funk today, but I thought I'd demonstrate. So I got this like big old funky jumper jacket thing going on. I got my like funky hippie headband. When I'm really feeling down, you know what? I go and find the brightest thing I can find in my cupboard. And if you've seen my cupboard, it's pretty bright because I like to dress bright. But I go and find the brightest thing I can do and I pull on those clothes, and I can guarantee you that like just like that, I feel already lighter, happier, bubblier. Like that mood just lifts straight away. So if you don't have some bright clothes, I really encourage you to go and invest in just one outfit even. Like rage against the beige. Life is not a funeral. If we are wearing black every day, that is just like morbid. And I know some people got to wear it for jobs, so that's okay. But if that's all you're wearing all the time, I really want to challenge you. Go and find something funky and bright for you to wear, especially if you're having a funk. Just pull it on, super simple, and it will change your mood so fast. So that's number 1. And I try and do that every day. Just to backtrack just a little second, can I encourage you, or like one of the things that I have to say the most, that when you're feeling like you're in a funk, is to just do exactly what you don't feel like doing. So you got to dig really deep, and I'm going to tell you how and give you a tool for what you can do at the end. But that thing that you don't feel like doing, you got to find something really deep and do it, and keep doing it. Because, it's consistency over time. It might be the last thing you feel like doing, going for a walk out in nature, or just going and standing in the sun for 5 minutes, or pulling on fun clothes, because you might be having that stinky, like, old moldy cheese smell under your nose where you just, like, everything stinks. You pull on some funky clothes, you go stand in the sun for 5 minutes, whatever it is, even if you don't feel like doing it, even if everything inside of you is like, I don't want to do this, and you have this bad, frowny attitude going on, right? You got to find something deep, draw on something really deep, and do that thing that you don't want to do, because that's where the release, that's where the freedom, that's where you're going to find breakthrough. Yeah. So just a little side note. So number 1, dress funky, dress bright, pull on something. I've got plenty of pairs of happy pants in my cupboard, whatever it is, your favorite color, your favorite outfit, something that makes you feel amazing. Pop that on, and I guarantee you it's going to make you feel amazing, amazing, amazing. Number 2, so I'm looking at my notes because I don't want to forget. Number 2, sometimes when we're in a funk, it's been because we have been just doing the same thing day in, day out. It's been really monotonous. So, you know, life can be like that sometimes, especially in winter when the days are shorter. So you might get up in the morning and there's not as much sunlight in the day. You don't feel as energized because it is a little bit colder. You just want to eat lots of comfort food. You want to lay in and sleep in a bit longer. You might get up, you might get ready, go to work, go to work when it's not quite light or just light. Work all day and then come home when it's nearly dark and then go to bed and do the same thing the next day. So we can be just in this cycle of monotony and feeling like, am I actually getting anywhere? Am I doing anything that's making a difference? You know, so like we can just be sort of spinning our wheels and not feeling full of passion or purpose or joy. But my second tip for how to break out of that funk. So if that's the kind of funk you're feeling where it's just the monotony, can I challenge you to do the same thing but in a different way? Now, what I mean when I say that, because obviously we can't all of a sudden just throw our hands up and go, I'm not going to work today. But can you do something to change it up, to change your routine up, to change that habits up? So you're doing the same thing but in a slightly different way. So having breakfast, instead of just sitting at the table and having breakfast and sort of slamming it down before, you know, you go to work, can you go sit outside somewhere or find, you know, a patch of sunshine? Or you've probably seen me share where I will take my daughter to the beach sporadically, excuse me, just to change it up a little bit, just to feel like it's not just going through the motions. Or, you know, can you drive a different way to work? Can you do your job, but can you find a way to, you know, maybe compliment a work colleague or something in your day? Can you, I don't know, wear your uniform on different days? I don't know. But doing the same thing, the same routine that you're doing, but just mix it up, change it up, do something a little bit different just to break out that monotony. It might be making something different for lunch. It might be changing up your recipes or stuff for dinner. It might be if you normally go and do this kind of workout, do a different kind of workout. So you're still doing the stuff you need to do, you're still doing the stuff as part of your everyday, but just mixing it up, keeping it fresh so that you're not just in this monotony and you're not bored with life. So that's number 2. I really hope that that's something encouraging if that's how you're sort of feeling. Number three is to call for backup. Call for backup. So what do I mean by that? We are not designed to do life on our own. And I really hope that you have people who, when you're feeling in a funk, that you can be really raw and really honest with them. I have a couple of really beautiful girlfriends, and when I wasn't feeling, when I was feeling in that funk a few weeks ago, I just messaged them and I said, I'm not feeling so good. I'm feeling funky. I know I need to come and hang out with you. I'm not good company, but can you please take me somewhere in the sunshine with a pot of tea? And they were amazing. And I said, don't expect anything from me, but that's what I need to do. I'm just being real and raw. I just need you to come and like speak life into my world and hang out with me. And it was awesome. They were beautiful. We took rugs and had a picnic under the trees in the sunshine with pots of tea and just talked about kids and husbands and life and all that sort of stuff. And it was awesome and it was refreshing, and we didn't just get all negative and talk about that, but it was just spending time. We're made for connection, we're designed for community, we're meant to do life together. And so reaching out to those people who you have in your world to say, hey, I'm not doing so good. And maybe you don't even need to say that, but just, reaching out to people to spend time with people. And again, this is probably not what you want to do. You're probably feeling like, I just want to lie in bed and watch Netflix for 12 hours straight on the weekend and not see a soul. If you're feeling like that, okay? But you really need to, like I said, you've got to draw on something deep. And I really pray, like I said, that you have some friends who you can just reach out to and be really raw with them, and they'll come alongside you and go, come on, let's just get together. We can be real with one another. We don't have to have this like fake friends, everything's good mask on, yeah? And if you don't have that, because I know that some people don't, if you don't have that, let me come alongside you. Please reach out, join the Healthy Happy Soul community. Like, it's my greatest pleasure and joy to encourage people and to connect people and put people together and create that community and that tribe feeling, because we are designed for that. And if we don't have that in our world, we will really feel it. So, you know, if you have that, awesome. Make sure you call for backup when you're feeling in a bit of a funk. If you don't, join with me. Let me try and give you a bit of energy, pump you up, connect you with some other awesome people so you're not doing life on your own, because we were designed for community. We're designed for connection, yeah? So that's number 3. And my last one, number 4, is to create a vision. So this is all stuff, you know, that is, if life's sort of just in the normal, and you know life's good, everything's tracking along pretty good. Like I said, for my funk, it was just that I just wasn't feeling it for whatever reason. And all those things, I didn't need to do a massive life overhaul or anything. I just needed to sort of put some things in place to draw me out of that funk and support me while I was still walking through it. Like, things didn't change instantly when I put these things into place, but they did help. They made it more enjoyable. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Okay, so where was I? I'm not quite sure. I'll just roll on in. I'll just keep going. So you know, those things, we just keep on going, consistently putting those things into practice. That's if life is just sort of going great and you know you don't need to do this massive overhaul. But if you do, and sometimes we do, sometimes, you know, life is flat because we've just got complacent, because we don't have a vision, because we don't have any joy, because we're stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill us, that we don't have any sense of purpose or calling attached to. Or, you know, there's somewhere where we're, I don't know, maybe working out and it's different, or maybe we really do need some drastic intervention for our health and our well-being, that we're not at our best. And so number 4 is to create a vision. And this is something I love doing with every single one of my clients. So this is something that I share and I teach on really regularly, and I'm just so excited I get to share it with you. But in Proverbs 29:18 it says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So Proverbs 29:18 says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And so, you know, we're not created to perish, we're created to thrive. You know, you are too spectacular and your life is too precious for you to perish. So we need a vision. It's important. It says it in God's word, you know, and He has the ultimate life for us. So I, you know, love creating a vision. It is something that it just re-inspires me when stuff's getting a little bit funky, when I know I need to make some life tweaks, when I need to make some changes in my life. And I'm actually going to give you, if you need a vision tool, because sometimes you're like, how am I meant to do a vision? I don't know. You know, how's that all meant to look? I have a vision tool that I would love to put in your hands. It's for free. And the link is actually in the description of this video. So you can jump on afterwards and you can go there, you can download it for free and you can use it. And you'll also get an email that breaks down how to actually do it, what sort of steps you need to take. Only 3 steps, really simple, really easy, but it's incredibly powerful. So I really encourage you to get a vision, to create a vision for your life. And the way that I do it is I break it down into 4 different areas of health that we teach as part of the Healthy Happy Soul. And so that is physical, emotional, spiritual, and social. So what would it look like? And when I say look like, I don't mean like what size would I be physically. It's more like what would my life look like as a whole? What would it feel like? What would those emotions, what would that feel like if I was living my best life, if I was at my best self? Like, what would that look like if I was functioning and fully like on the way that God had designed me to be? So we use that. There's 4 different sections. You pull it apart, you know, writing down what does that look like? You know, who would I be hanging out with? What sort of community connection would I have in my life? What emotionally what would it feel like? Would I have joy? Would I have peace? Would I have clarity? Spiritually, what would that look like? You know, would I be having quiet time with God every morning? Would I be feeling really connected and a good sense of self-worth, confidence, that sort of thing? You know, physically, am I moving my body and working out 4 times a week? Am I, you know, what sort of weight range? And when I say that, hear me out for a second. You know, weight is not the be all end all, but there is a healthy weight range for us to be in, yeah? So you know I'm not a big advocate of just get to this size on the scale, because that's never what it's about. but having that healthy weight range. So I put that on my goal on my vision, because I know sort of where I'm at, and that's where I should be. But if I'm putting everything else into play, it all just flows. That's not the destination, that's not my sole focus. It's just part of my overall vision of when I'm at my best self. So that's the 4 things. That's sort of it, you know. That's 4 simple tips that you can put into practice, that you can put into action when you're feeling in a funk, to lift you out of that funk, or at least to make your funk a little bit more enjoyable, right? So number 1 is to dress funky. So put on some funky clothes, get bright, get in, whatever that kind of dress is for you. Make it funky, make it bright, and that is going to lift your mood, I promise you. Number 2 is to do the same thing in a different way. So just mix it up, break the monotony, break the boredom, keep it fresh. Number 3 is to call for backup. So make sure you got some peeps around you who you can say, hey, I'm not feeling so good, and I would love you to come in and just treat me, or just talk to me, or just whatever that sort of is going to look like. And the last one is to create a vision. And like I said, with the vision tool, it's for free. You can jump on, download it, and there's going to be a really easy, simple step-by-step how you're meant to work it out, how's it meant to look for you. And also something new that I'm launching tonight that I would love you to be a part of. So on the Healthy Happy Soul Facebook page, I share a whole heap of stuff, and I love it, and I love the feedback and the community vibe. But sometimes, because life is super full and social media and Facebook world is super full, sometimes things get lost, and that's cool. But if you're wanting to engage more, I'm just launching tonight the Healthy Happy Soul community group. So it's a group on Facebook, and for the next 4 weeks, I'm going to take you through step by step each of the different topics, each of the different tips, and breaking it down with a bit of accountability. So say it's doing a vision, so that's going to be our thing for how to fly kick your funk to the curb. So it's going to be doing a vision. I'm going to talk you through how to actually action that. I'm going to share my vision with you, what that looks like, to hopefully give you inspiration for yours and how yours can sort of look. There's also going to be other things and links and tips for how to really action each week of the topic that we're going to be sharing on. So there's heaps there. And yeah, so you can jump on board and get in there. It just means that it's something a little bit more connected. There's more accountability, we're able to be more social, and just able to, I guess, connect in a greater way, as opposed to it just all happening, on the page, but just really create that community feel. So that's what I'm launching, because I wanted to really just be able to share and equip you with stuff that you need to just upskill your life. So I think that's it from me. I think that's it. Any feedback, any questions, get in there, get in the chat box. I will read every single one. I'll respond to them after the video. Even if you're watching this on replay, I'll get in there, I'll respond. So make sure you're engaging and writing in your comments and your questions. I love it. Thank you so much for your feedback, because it means so much to me. And if this resonated with you, if this was something that really gave you some value, could you do me a favor and share it, or tag a couple of friends in it? That would just really bless me so much, because like I said, I'm passionate about people not living in a funk, people living their best life, living the fullness of the life that God has created them to enjoy. But I can't do that all on my own. So I need peeps, I need you guys, my tribe, to get in there, to tag people, to share this with your friends and get the message out there, because life and health is better when we do it together. So I think that's all from me. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for all your comments. I see them all coming in. I'm going to jump off here and I'm going to get to them. Make sure you go and download your free vision. And also there's going to be a link to the community in the comments below, or in the, description. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay. Bless you heaps, guys. Have an amazing night. Go get funky. Bye.